With me is Kroft.
Yep.
He is building a Dutch blockchain core competence center in the Netherlands. So, first of all, why do we need this center?
Because we feel that there is, if you look at the knowledge base in the Netherlands on technology, on law, on governance, on audit, on social acceptance of this technology, that there is only very little people who really know what's going on. So we feel that we should, the knowledge that we have, we should bring it together and support use cases and field labs with that knowledge. So we are trying to look at the scientific world about who is really knowledgeable about the impact of distributed ledgers and how can we bring these people in position to support these field labs and use cases within the field labs. And also we think that there is still a lot of research to be done, and not only research but also a lot of development to be done in terms of regulations, laws, compliance, and also business models, and getting to understand how to implement blockchains. Implement isn't the right word, but how to create blockchain networks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And how far in this process are you? Are we really getting this center in the future?
Yes, we are talking to the big corporations at the moment. So in the Netherlands there are 9 so-called top sectors in health, in chemical, in transport, in food. And in all of these top sectors there is one big OEM, or original end manufacturer. And we are trying to persuade them to join the BC3, the Core Competence Center, because these big corporations have the capital, but they also have a footprint in the sector. So if, for instance, Unilever would say, we are going to work on transparency in the food chain, which is important for them, then something is going to move. So these big companies are movers and shakers. So we are talking to them at the moment and asking them to join the BC3, that's the short for the Competence Center.
So how many of these 9 participants, because you described there are 9 top sectors,
yes, well,
do you want to participate them all? Or?
We are starting with the financial industry. They are not an official top sector, but they are, of course, a front runner in distributed ledgers. Agriculture, logistics, important for the Netherlands, of course, and also the government itself. I don't know if you spoke to Marloes Pomp. Dutch government services are of good quality, and we think that they can also be, you can use Dutch government services to create more service for the citizens in the Netherlands.
So how many of these sectors are interested and are willing to participate?
Well, we are looking for companies within the sectors.
Okay, companies within the sectors.
I think we have, about 18 companies who are interested at the moment.
So when will it be built?
Well, what we are doing, we are in 2 weeks we have a sort of a startup meeting with these companies and with the people from the science field. And there we are going to kick this process off. What we are going to do next is we're going to build the competence center together with them in terms of what program are we going to run, how are we going to govern this center, how many people are going to be involved from the companies within the center. So, and then in April 2017, we want to start the competence center really.
In April. Okay, so next year. And I'm also interested in how will startups benefit from it?
Yes, well, it was discussed here today also that startups are very important for creativity and for thinking out of the box and all that sort of thing. So we are trying to mix also the startups and also venture capital companies into what we call the ecosystem or the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So we think that corporates should do more on corporate venturing. They should support startups by investing in them and scaling them up. But there is also a need for venture capital companies to join the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So we are trying to make a very vibrant ecosystem, but at the core of the system is good scientific knowledge and multidisciplinary knowledge, not only technology but also law and accounting, all the sort of knowledge
Yeah.
you do need to implement blockchain.
Yeah. So, and now you're here at the hackathon.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you expect from it?
The hackathon in February, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I hope that there are a few people I met here who are going to work in the hackathons.
You mean by the use cases?
Yeah,
they
their
bring?
use cases, going to
Yeah.
introduce their use cases there. I hope that they will bring their use cases a step further and that they can say, okay, it's evident how we are going to do it, what we want to do, and how we are going to do it. They should come to us and look at, okay, what's the technology impact of this and what's the regulation, that sort of thing. So then we can start supporting the use cases that come out of these hackathons.
Yeah, because maybe after a year we have a few winning ideas. How is your center going to help them? You call it like the blockchain implementation, but you want these ideas to fly, to become big companies. How are you going to help them?
What we are going to do, if people bring their use case to us, so to say, and we can iterate with them.
But first they bring it to the hackathon.
Yes, of course. We have to have an elaboration of the use case. Is it a feasible, is it a viable use case?
Of course. And then
but if it's a viable use case, then we can iterate with them on all the multidisciplinary topics that they meet. And then we can support them in growing a solid prototype. That's what we're going to try to do for them.
So in about 1 year, which goal have you reached for sure?
For sure. Well, in 2018 we want to be completely up and running. And what we're going to do some education also. We're going to support, I think, at least 20 use cases if we are able, and that's going to grow over the next years, of course. And also there will be some research programs established.
Do you think the Dutch government is investing enough in this whole blockchain field?
I think they're. I work for this. This is an initiative from the Ministry of Economic Affairs.
Yeah.
I think they're doing the best that they can. Yes.
But if you compare it, for example, to the UK, last year they invested like 10 billion pounds in the whole cryptocurrency.
The UK government.
Yeah.
I don't know if. I think that the attitude of the Dutch government is very how to say, keen on developing blockchain. You heard Bas Eenhoorn here also. Of course, there are all sorts of things on the agenda of the government, but I think the Ministry of Economic Affairs is very much aware of the potential of this new technology and trying to push it into the economy. And we have very good reasons to do so in logistics, in government services, in health, and also in agriculture. We are big, so if we can make a footprint with our services or agricultural food services, so to speak, well, then we can provide these services we can export those services to the world. So I think the government is doing its best.
Okay. So thanks for your clear vision.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.